business?
I think that we have a number of people here from the public, and I'd love to hear what they have to say.
Meeting adjourned.
Anybody else?
Chair Duarte, I'd like to ask what the board is going to do about some of the news articles that have been in the paper lately and the editorials about the whole sign issue. I think the board should be taking some action on this. This is something that's not been very good for the town of Candia at all, and I'd like to see the board address it properly.
Okay, it's very difficult for me to stick my nose in there since I'm on the ballot tomorrow. Yeah, there's some pretty hair-raising things going on, and I'm not very happy about them either. I live here too and pay taxes, and I didn't like a bit of it. I don't like being pushed through the mud necessarily. But as far as the authority to really take measures, the only ones that can step in either would be a petition from the Supreme Court. And I do know that there's certain things still going on, so I don't want to say too much, but this would be a good time for you to get your feelings off your chest. But that's the main reason I haven't done anything, Mr. Cardier. If I get elected tomorrow night, it would be because of me, not because of someone else. And I've been trying to keep my mouth quiet on this if I can. It's not easy, but I do know it's embarrassing to the community, and it's very uncomfortable for all of us. And I'm in the same boat as you are. Sir?
Eric Shiflett, Merrill Road. So I came here tonight because I thought that there was an agreement that had been struck whereby Amanda was going to make a public apology to me for the sign fiasco. And I wrote a prepared statement. I could read it as if we had heard an apology so you could hear my perspective on things. It's short, takes about 1 minute.
Yes.
Certainly. I wasn't aware that it was, did you give you an apology?
My doctor staged you, but
Yeah, so I'll give you the backstory on
Yes,
that.
go ahead.
This officer was referred from the Attorney General to the State Police, and Trooper Kane, K-A-N-E, was assigned to the case. He asked me point blank, Eric, how do you want to resolve this? Do you want me to arrest the 3 of them, were his words. My response was, no, I don't think that's necessary. I think we can probably get through this in a more reasonable fashion. I'm not looking for blood. I want my signs to stay put. I want my voice to be heard. So the agreement that I proposed to Trooper Kane, acting as mediator, was that if a public apology were to be issued and the signs were to stop being removed, that's it. The criminal matter goes away. I drop the charges. The case is done. So that was the proposal that Trooper Kane proposed to Amanda, and she agreed to it. At least that's what Trooper Kane told me. So I came here today expecting to hear a simple, sorry. So what I prepared as a statement says, Amanda, thank you for your sincere and heartfelt apology. With that, now we can put the issues of criminal matters to rest. This is in agreement with the settlement that I proposed to Trooper Kane, the investigating officer assigned by the New Hampshire State Police. On a more personal note, I do appreciate the difficulties of your role, and I mean it. The job of Selectman requires you and your peers to make a very significant time commitment on our behalves, and for that I thank you. That's our behalves, and now having witnessed a track record on issues, certain treatment of town employees, this sign matter, I question on whose behalves you are acting. I will ask you all to consider one final thought. Although we cannot all devote the time we might wish to in the governance of the town, we are all free to participate and have our voices heard. I would like to remind the selectmen of this town that it is our voices that you must consider. It is us citizens of Candia that you serve. With respect, Eric Shiflett. Do you need a copy of that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Boyd Chivers, I applaud Mr. Shiflett for making that statement.
yeah.
And this could go a long way to resolving this entire matter tonight. And all Amanda has to do is simply acknowledge some fault on her part, make an apology to Eric, and this thing is over with. And Amanda, I would strongly urge you to find something you did wrong and stand up there and make an apology to this man. And get this thing to, put it to rest. This whole issue is gonna be resolved tomorrow afternoon anyhow.
That's fine, I have nothing to say.
You know, this was your opportunity, Amanda.
I'm well aware. And I have nothing to say.
Dave,
Mr. Chairman,
Dave,
my name is Judith Slott. I have a question for Mr. Shiflett. He referred to the criminal matter, to put this criminal matter to rest. Anyone who has seen the video knows that there was more than one criminal matter happening at that time. Going into someone's vehicle without permission is a criminal matter. And if Mrs. Soros has to apologize, at least Mr. Shiflett should apologize for his criminal behavior, because he entered Mr. Kelly's vehicle without his permission. Now, the police can't do that, you can't do that. If he felt that there was something happening, that she was stealing his signs, or for whatever reason, he was across the street from the police station. All he had to do was walk into the police station. This is an issue where the police should have been involved in this. The police chose not to become involved in this. We have a situation in our community where our police are choosing whose rights to enforce. They will enforce Mr. Shiflett's rights, but they won't enforce Mrs. Soros's rights. They refused. The only people who could take those signs down were the police. When Mrs. Soros went to the police said they didn't want to become involved. So if they are the only ones who can protect her rights, where does she go? There are two wrongs here. Both of them go wrong. They have shamed our town. And this never should have gotten to the point it was. The police should have handled this thing in-house. It should not be splashed all over the paper. It shames all of us. But there are two wrongs here. And I think if Mr. Shiflett apologized, you might hear an apology from Mrs. Soros. But there were two wrongs here, not just one.
thank you. Chip, you'd like to respond?
Sure, Eric Shiflett, Merrill Road. Fred, I understand from speaking with the AG and with the state police that you probably believed, based on information that you'd received from Amanda, that what you were doing was right. And I tend to agree with him on that. I apologize for going in your vehicle. My intent was to document what I had seen, not to, of course, I don't have any criminal intent with taking anything from your vehicle or getting in your personal space. I just didn't think my camera could see through the tint, and that was my reason for going in your vehicle. And so I apologize.
I accept
I accept your apology for that, and there's been a lot going on, all right, in town, and I've been informed not to talk about it, okay? And I will not talk too much about it, because I think it should be just done and gone. It's up to Amanda what she wants to do. I'm not her boss, and I'm not her person that tells her what to do, so it's up to Amanda what she.
You know, I agree with that. That's why I took the video down. Quite frankly, I don't want people to think of Candia.
Well, it was too late. When that went down, it was way too late. Too much damage done by that time, so, you know,
But if Fred wasn't out
but that's okay.
outside, we'll see what happens.
Do you have the floor?
I'm sorry, Sharon DeWitt.
Exactly.
I'd like to add that it was more than two misgivings. Unfortunately, Fred, you were involved in stealing signs as well. You were approached, you admitted it, then you changed your story for the paper the next day and said the signs were.
No, I did not.
Well, the paper reported that you said the signs.
Him and I would never talk about that.
That's fine, but so until that's verified, yeah, and I do have the floor, thanks. That you said that the signs were given to you, and then the letter from the AG that was sent to the chief of police identifies that you, Amanda, and Carlton, the three of you had taken signs. The chief did ask Amanda if those were her signs. She said, no, they're illegal. The AG wants them. The AG did not say that to Amanda, is, what the AG has reported back to the police department. So I find it difficult to say that we should just sweep this under the rug. I think a lot of people are upset about this. Tomorrow's election happens, we could have 3 people leading our town who have lied and deceived people of Candia. That scares me. That scares me, and I think that I would like, Joe, I understand that, well, I sort of understand. I'm not sure I understand fully why you cannot, as acting chair, it happened under your reign, make a decision on that. But we have a vice chair. I would like to see the board formally ask for the resignations of Fred and Amanda.
I guess I will respond to that, Sharon. And it's kind of speaking to Amanda and the rest of the audience. This is an extremely important problem. It's a serious problem. There are emails going around that suggest that a selectman could be removed from office. Now, I'm not an attorney. I am, however, reasonably familiar with the law. The only person that can remove a selectman, a sitting selectman, is the Superior Court. Somebody would have to petition the Superior Court to remove the selectman from office.
Let's do it.
Now, the statute that I've seen has none of the ones that we've talked about before, but implies that somebody who has taken the oath of office and then lies could be removed by the Superior Court. Whether that petition would be taken by the court, acted on, and approved is something that has some measure of ambiguity to it. I'm not ready at the present time to say that we should, at this point in time, put such a petition forward. That petition could be brought up after the election. The people of the town of Candia have an opportunity to take care of this matter by themselves tomorrow. I believe my interpretation of the statute is that if, in fact, a transgression such as defined in the statute that relates to the taking of an office and then doing something that is a criminal matter can forthwith remove you from office. I believe that that could be an action that would take place after the election. If that were to take place, there would be significant cost associated with that. So I would be very hesitant to, in the heat of the moment, attempt to do something right now which would have no effect immediately and would perhaps influence an election. So I understand what's going around on the emails. I think that this entire episode is something that was not in the best interests of the town. But it's the kind of thing that has happened in this town for years and years and years, and just suddenly it has become a huge issue. It will have some benefit to the town of Candia in that from now on, people who are putting out signs, either for or against an issue or a candidate, will understand that you have to provide the means by which anybody that looks at those signs knows where to go to find who put them out. The other issue that'll be addressed is those signs that have been out there with concerned citizens of Candia, concerned taxpayers of Candia. There was a recent decision of the Attorney General that said if you put signs out like that, you are a political action committee and you will register with the Secretary of State as a political action committee. So that if nothing else comes out of this, hopefully, signs that are put up from this point forward will identify who you are. I think it was best said by a young lady that lives up the road and has goats. If you're gonna say something, put your name on it and don't be ashamed of it. But again, I am not, at this point in time, as a member of the Board of Selectmen, ready to move forward with a petition to the Superior Court to take any action against a sitting Board of Selectmen at this point in time.